What are the top 5 things stopping you from getting started in voiceover, and more importantly, how to get over them? Stay tuned to find out. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Jesse Carroll, professional voice actor and coach. And today we're talking about the top 5 reasons you haven't started voiceover yet. Now, anybody who's watched the channel for a while knows that I'm a pretty positive person. I don't like to do anything with any kind of negative connotation. I mean, some people get mad when I swear sometimes, but that's just me. It's not negative. Maybe some of you will disagree. I don't know. We'll find out in the comments. As far as the top 5 things that are stopping you from starting voiceover, I want to call them out so you can get over them. That's why we're talking about that today. I don't want to be one of those negative YouTube voiceover expert gurus, whatever you want to call them, that complain and moan about the business and then complain about you complaining about moaning about the business. That's not where I'm at. Where I'm at is I want to tell you what I know so that can help you in your career. We want to get past all the negativity stuff. We're not interested in any of that. What we want to know is what's going to get us results. Okay, so we're going to talk about it. So you've clicked on this because you're interested in getting voiceover, and you too, like many people I've talked to on my one-on-one consultations, you're not sure how to get started or if you should get started, and you're a little bit reluctant to pull the trigger. So here are some of the reasons that people don't start voiceover right away, and this is how you can move past them. Coming in hot at number 5 is gear. It's too expensive and you don't have the money for it. This one I totally get. I totally understand. When I first started voiceover, I was fired from my job. I didn't really have any savings, but I knew I wanted to get started, and I was kind of in a desperate situation. I definitely didn't have the money to buy new gear, so what I did is I rented. And anybody who's seen a bunch of these videos knows that I recommend this all the time. So what you want to do is just go down to a local music store and just get all the gear you need. And if you're not sure what gear to get, look in the links in the description. There's a link to a free gear guide. It's on my website, jessecarrollcoaching.com as well. And it'll tell you what you need to get in voiceover, and you can get all that stuff for less than $200. Brand new gear isn't even that expensive either. You can get baseline stuff for $500. I'm not going to cover everything you need to get in this video because that's not the point of it. But point is, it's not as expensive as you think. Now, I know you might be sitting there going, Jesse, to me, $200 is a lot. You know, I've got like a newborn baby, a wife, I can barely afford rent. I don't understand. I don't have a baby or a family or a wife or any of that stuff, but I've been in pretty desperate situations myself, and I've been tapped out of every resource that I had. But here's the thing. You don't need to start voiceover tomorrow. If this is like a I need money now kind of thing, just wait. Get yourself a second job, okay? You don't need to start voiceover tomorrow. Now, if you're in a desperate situation that I was, maybe you do. But all I'm saying is don't spend your last $200 on gear. What you want to do is save up for a bit. If it takes you 6 months, or get a second job. And, you know, I'm willing to bet you can get it sooner than you think. For instance, if I told you it was life or death and you had to get gear tomorrow, would you get it? Probably. If it was life or death to you or a loved one, yeah, you'd find the money. You'd get that gear. Now, I'm not suggesting you do it that desperately. Far from it. In fact, wait a little bit until you're in a bit of a better situation. Voiceover's not going anywhere. It's not, as far as I can tell anyway. So just wait. Wait till you get in a bit of a better situation. But again, it's not as expensive as you think. So that's gear handling. The number 4 reason people don't get started in voiceover. Because you're confused by all of the conflicting information out there, whether it's on websites, other coaches, YouTube, or real life. Wherever it is, it seems that everybody has a different opinion of this is the exact way you're supposed to do voiceover. There is no exact way to do voiceover. Sorry to tell you. Even my way isn't the exact way to do voiceover. I teach my way because, well, I think it's the fastest, and I'm yet to have anybody prove me wrong. The way I do it gets results for sure, but it's not the only way. Some people don't like the way I do it. You know, some people hate pay-to-play sites. I think it's a simple way to get started, but you don't have to be on there. You just got to get auditioning. I don't care how you do it. But here's what I'm saying. Find a coach that you resonate with or that resonates with you. A coach that you like, you know, you think you could work with. Book a meeting with them. Talk to them. See if you get along. Ask them how much money they make. Ask them to prove it. Look to see if you're interested in doing pay-to-play sites, see if they're on those sites, see how many reviews they've got. Get them to show you work examples. And most importantly, results from their students. If they're getting results, if they're making money, if they're by all means legit, they're probably pretty good no matter what they're selling, no matter what way they're doing it, whether they're doing it my way, direct marketing, or however they're doing it. If they're getting results, try it. And don't listen to anybody else. Don't listen to me. If it's not with me, don't listen to anyone. Buy in to what they're selling and do it hardcore. Go at it for like at least 3 months, better like 6. Get a bunch of data. Look at it. Are you improving? Are you getting results? If not, and you're really going for it, maybe check out somebody else. Maybe they just didn't get you. That doesn't mean they're a bad coach. It just means that, maybe you didn't click. Maybe you need a second opinion. I'll tell you this. I coached with a lot of coaches in my career, a lot of different ones, and none of them were the same. And usually they would have almost conflicting information a lot of the time. But I took a little bit from everybody and use it all. And I've got my own style now. But I don't think I ever studied with anybody where I was like, that was garbage, wasn't worth it. But when you're studying with one person, just buy into their philosophy for a while. Not for like a week or two and expect results. I'm talking months. Pick your person and go for it, Like I said, whether it's me or somebody else, doesn't bother me. I don't care, but just buy into their style. That's how you don't get confused. Don't listen to anybody else while you're studying with one coach. Laser focus. Then look at the data. Are you improving? If not, move on. You still learned something. I'm willing to bet. Now, coming in at a somber number 3, and the reason I say somber is because I'm still hearing this all the time. You bought into the philosophy that you need to do one weekly group coaching class for a year before you can start VoiceOver. And you need to get the approval of a coach before you're ready. Biggest load of BS in the business. Once a week classes have their place, but only if you've got your gear and you're ready to go. Sure, if you want to dabble and you're like, I don't know if I even like VoiceOver, you want to do it for fun on the weekend as a hobby, once a week on Saturdays, go nuts. But if you really want to do this, do not go into a once a week group coaching class or even a once a week private coaching class and have no gear and only go into that class and do it until that coach says you're ready. They don't know. And tell you what, guess what? You are never going to be ready when you start VoiceOver. You're not. And you're never going to be as good as you're going to be when you start working. The minute you start working with directors and producers and get into live sessions, you're gonna have a whole new understanding of how to work and the script and what they're looking for beyond what a coach could ever tell you. Real work experience is worth way more. Once you have that, you'll be able to, you'll be laughing. You'll look at an audition script and you'll know exactly what to do. You need to get working as soon as you can. And it's okay to fail. It's okay to do a few bad auditions. People will try and scare you and think, no, that's not what you want to do because you get blacklisted. You're never going to get blacklisted. If they don't like your audition, they listen to the first 3 seconds of it and they move on. They don't even bother listening to the whole thing. Now, if you're reading a completely different script and you're doing it with like some kind of weird accent and you're making a fool out of yourself, maybe, but who the hell is going to do that? I don't know. Maybe a crazy person? I'm just saying, you don't need to worry about getting blacklisted. Just get out there. Fail forward, as they say. You learn from failing and you learn from experience. Now, coming in at number 2, and it was hard to debate between which would be the top spot, this one or the other one I'm about to say, but coming in hot at number 2 is you're afraid. You're afraid of failure. You're afraid of what if it doesn't work out? What if you spend money and you learn and you can't do it and it doesn't work out and you quit? I'll tell you this. Number 1, you only fail if you quit. You could go at this for a while and not get results. Maybe you listen to everything I say. Maybe you audition every single day and you're doing 30, 40, 50 auditions for a day for, let's say, the next 6 months and nothing's happened yet. And you're like, I am wasting my time. I'm wasting my time. You're learning something. You're having a tough go and you will get through it. There's a book out there called Mastery by George Leonard, and I think that's the name anyway. He talks about learning to love the plateau. Everybody progresses at different rates, but at some point, everybody, including myself, you'll hit a plateau. And you hit that plateau and no matter what anybody says, no matter what coach tells you, you're just gonna keep on that plateau. I could give you the same note a million times and you won't understand what I'm saying. Then one day, it'll just click. It'll click and you just went to a whole new level. Mastery by George Leonard. Super thin book, really good read. And that'll teach you how to get out of that plateau and actually how to master something. It can take a while. Everybody comes in at different levels due to different things. Some people were growing up speaking in public all the time, or some people have training as like a teacher, or for myself, I was a stand-up comedian for a number of years. And I didn't even understand how that could help me in voiceover until I really started thinking about how I did this. And comedians, they write jokes on, like you write them out either on your iPhone, or I did it on flashcards, and you're always trying to figure out how to deliver that joke like it's coming off the top of your head over and over. So I naturally, when I pick up copy for voiceover, I will read it as if it's coming off the top of my head. And that's the baseline. That's what you want to get to. You want to sound like a real person in voiceover. I digress. What I'm saying is everybody's afraid in the beginning, and it doesn't really ever go away. You just got to get used to it. I get afraid all the time. It doesn't matter what level you're at. Many times currently this year, most months I've made like over $20,000. And in the back of my brain, still, I'm like, what if it all goes away? What if every client stops calling? What if they don't keep coming back? What if you stop booking? Always gonna have fear. You just don't listen to it. You feel the fear, and you do it anyway, as they say. In the beginning, a lot of stuff in voiceover is unknown, and that's where the fear comes from. But you need to have perseverance. You gotta really want this. You gotta really want it, and that's how you get past the fear. Which brings me to the number one reason most people don't get started. This one's gonna sting a little bit. You don't want it bad enough. You don't. If you wanted it bad enough, the way you need to want it, you would have started. But that doesn't mean you can't. It's just you haven't connected with that. You gotta want it bad. There are people that do it casually, and I've even said some people might want to do this part-time. But if you want the results that I get, you gotta want it bad because you're up against me. There's gotta be nothing that can stop you. You gotta want it so bad that for the next 3, 6 months, a year, no going out, no partying, no friends, no nothing. All that goes back into the business. It goes into coaching, it goes into your website, it goes into memberships, whatever the hell you need to get ahead in voiceover. Everything. Go at it with everything you got so that you can get started and get momentum. Then maybe take, your foot off the gas a little bit. Or like me, I don't really ever take my foot off the gas. And my business grows because of it. You gotta want it bad. And the fun part is when you want it bad and it starts working out because you're putting more into it than you've ever put it into anything in your entire life and you're getting results. I can't even explain to you how good that feels. But you gotta want it bad. Now, in order to stoke that want, what I highly suggest is getting a mentor, getting into a class, whether it's a group class or an online class or an online community, which I just so happen to have. We are 65 members strong right now at the time of this video. I'm sure maybe when you're watching this down the road, it'll be 650. I don't know. But we're growing and we're growing fast, and everybody in there is super supportive. They pump each other up. We're always getting excited to do more, and we're seeing people book their first job on a near daily basis right now. So if you want to get into a community like that, check the links below. I also have a course called the VoiceOver Jumpstart course. And if you're brand new in voiceover and you want all the steps that I took to get where I am today, and you want a helping hand along the way, working with me one-on-one, you got to interview with me. Check the link below. There's a link to book a free 15-minute consultation with me. You can learn about my course. You can learn about my community, which is a different thing, much more affordable too. I think it's $47 a month at the time of this video. But yeah, hit me up. It's a free talk. Let's chat. If you need some help in voiceover, I'm here to help. If you have any questions at all about voiceover, hit me up in the links below. I try to get to as many as I can. I'm getting a lot more comments these days than I used to get, but I'm gonna try and get to them as soon as I can. So if it takes me a minute, don't worry, I will read them and I'll respond to them if I can, okay? But yeah, thank you so much as always for subscribing and liking and sharing. You guys have been wonderful to me. What am I at now? Oh my God, I hit 3,000 subscribers, guys. This time last year, I had, I think, 10 or 15 subscribers. 10 or 15. Right now, I've got 3,000 at the time of this video, at the time I'm shooting. I'm sure I'll have even more by the time this gets edited by my editor, who's been a dream. Power Rush, you've been a stud. And thank you, everybody. This has been it's been amazing. The most fulfilling thing I've ever done. Communicating with you guys, trying to teach you what I do, coaching in my community and in my course. It's been special. And it's it's just, I almost have no words. It's just been really special. Thank you so much for watching and listening and being part of this journey. All right, guys, and I will see you in the next one.